gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today, our coverage kicks off with a good one here between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The Cowboys at 8-2 on the year, and they come in as a team that looks like a well-oiled machine getting ready for the postseason. Winners at 8 of their last 10.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Well, Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. When going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families that go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. But I remember reading remember the Lions jumping on the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. The only loss the Packers had in 1962, and they sacked Bart Starr over 10 times in that game. And I remember Dave Williams from the Bears returning the overtime kickoff for a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening, but how much fun is it each and every year to know that you've got football on Thanksgiving Day?
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. To throw is Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. they've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. As a nice run there gets them down to the 6-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
First down, and it's Pollard again. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
2nd down and goal. Prescott. And he's going to go out of bounds. Gigantic loss. Kept retreating, steps out, then goes down as a sack and a big loss of yardage.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. And this one is right through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On the ground is Saquon Barkley, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. No big surprise, Micah Parsons doing what he does so well, dropping him for a loss.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Throwing, Jones. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Now Jones. Got a man, Slayton. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Another try for Barkley, and he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter play. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Barkley is into the end zone. Touchdown, Giants. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Gano the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best and don't worry about the rest of it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Our game here, a Thanksgiving staple in Dallas dating back to 1966. It was Tex Schramm, the Cowboys GM, who wanted to drum up a little publicity. And he drew 80,000 to the Cotton Bowl to see the Cowboys beat the Browns that year in '66. And a tradition was born and has only grown in love and passion over the years. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll run for it with Pollard. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there. And it helps him move the sticks. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Prescott to throw it. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be?
Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now. Showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. following the interception. Here's Prescott.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the Cowboys winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here back home in Arlington.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Prescott.
Cooks on the quick slant.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Prescott. Flushed out right.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Drop for a loss there on a nice effort by Osa Odighizuwa.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Operating from the gun, Jones. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Well, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Prescott.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll try and run for it. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Clark in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll go down at the 28. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3 our score. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Now Jones just going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security. And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day, but you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a 3rd game in 2006. And usually it's division rivals, but that's the 3rd one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it. That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback, and he put it right where it needed to be. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. That's caught once again by Gallup. And after the broken tackle, couldn't get free for much space, taken down right at the 10. On second down, it's Pollard. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. So that time they got the left guard with a hold. And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out. Now Prescott. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Prescott from the gun. Eluding the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard. But more importantly, it leads to 4th down. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So now on fourth down, Mike McCarthy will turn to his field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6.
We're trailing here in the first half still, but maybe, Charles, that'll help them get some momentum back. First the forced fumble, and then they're able to get a field goal out of it.
And down in the game, they came out and created their own opportunity on one side of the ball and did get points out of it, as you mentioned. Complimentary football right there as they try and bring this one back to even.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones looking for Campbell downfield. And they get Jones for the third time in this ball game. And the Cowboys are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, Charles, they were so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones gets this to Walt. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And it's picked up by the Cowboys.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4. On 4th down, Jones. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Cowboys will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
That is a tough way to start the 3rd quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
In motion, the tight end. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Off the play fake, Prescott. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. And he will find his big tight end over the middle.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the Giants' 24-yard line.
2nd and 6.
Here's Prescott. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Jones.
They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. They were stopped last time from the 1. Now here's another try on 3rd. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ronald Jones, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
And that is caught for the 2 points. So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. And the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Operating from the gun, Jones. He finds his target, Beckham.
And he will have a Giants first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. A run by Barkley, going to go backwards as he's going to lose right around 3 yards here.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Back to throw. Jones. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Looking to throw. Jones. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. A nice little juke. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
The mistake there by the offense, Charles, they tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tagged as one of the best in the league the prior season.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone. So we will start here at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Jones throw complete here to Waller.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Barkley, inside handoff. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's second and 3. Operating from the gun, Jones. That'll be complete to... And a loose football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Cowboys are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter.
Now the try here for the point after. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
He's going to air one out. And the defense loses him. It's complete.
And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30.
It's a big-time play there for the G-Men. 48 yards. Jones throwing on first down. Touchdown. Paris Campbell, 27 yards.
And the Giants have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds back near their own 20.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And they'll get this to the 24, and it's second down.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Credit the sack to Jonathan Hankins.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That ball caught by Slayton. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. Throwing Jones. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Giants have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Gano the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. Here in the fourth quarter, defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
On play action, Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
They'll run left with Pollard. And he's across the 45. It'll be second down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That will be their 3rd and final stoppage, as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Prescott to throw it. He gets it to Cooks. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 44-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Prescott now. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Dallas, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Indianapolis next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8.
And they will be back home next week for a date with the Washington Commanders.